Welcome back to The Division 2. In this video, I want to talk to you further, like a continuation of yesterday, but I'm going to try and keep the rage down to a minimum, because it's not actually that frustrating for me, because it's not directly related to the game, but in a way it is still frustrating because it's the community that are being screwed over yet again. Before we get into that though, I want to let you guys know that there was a lot of miscommunication and confusion from the state of the game yesterday, because I said in my video that difficulty won't matter anymore with getting exotics, because you could go from normal all the way up to legendary, get an exotic, and the way they relayed the information on the state of the game was so that it doesn't matter what difficulty you're playing, the minimum roll percentage will be the same. But someone found it on the forums, when it's actually been put into text form, that that's not the way it's going to work. Apparently each difficulty has its own tier, and each of those tiers is going to drop exotics with a minimum value. So as an example, normal difficulty could have a minimum percentage of 15, hard could have 30, challenging could have 45, heroic 60, and then legendary 75. That is not drop chance, by the way, that is percentage of minimum rolls. So let's just say you're playing challenging and it has 50%, then you are guaranteed when you get an exotic to drop to not have any of the stats below 50%. That's just how that's going to work, and apparently each tier of difficulty has its own minimum values, but from state of the game, none of that was clear. And not only that, but they were also asked a lot of questions about PvP, and we all, well, not we all, a lot of us now know that Redstorm are no longer working on the game. They've upped and moved ship. They're working on some different project. At the moment, the belief is either Division 3 or the new Avatar game that Massive are working on. But one of the guys that works at Redstorm made it public by tweeting and said that he hasn't been working on Division 2 for a while now. Yet a few months ago in State of the Game we were told that there was news from Redstorm, and it just never come about. And whenever the developers asked about PvP, they literally just say, oh, we're working on it, like you'll find out more in the near future. And we were told yesterday from State of the Game that there are a few things coming to PvP or changing within PvP. And I instantly thought that it would just be balancing changes and things like that, but it turns out it's even worse than that. If you go to the article that was posted on the forums, I don't have a link or anything for it, but there is like a mini sort of patch notes type thing for Title Update 9. If you go to the bottom, for PvP, it just says, if you have any questions about PvP or the Dark Zones in the Division 2, then make sure you contact the developer at Massive. So they're basically telling us not to contact the guys over at Redstorm, but they won't directly tell us that they're not working on the game anymore. I don't know why it wasn't made public in State of the Game yesterday, because Terry let us know anyway. And now to get onto the main topic of the video, and the fact that people are being banned left, right and centre from everything related to this game. It seems as though you need to be careful with what you're saying about the game. Not necessarily on YouTube, Twitch or Mixer, because it just seems as though the development team never pay attention to the stuff that's being said. But if you're posting on the Ubisoft forums, you need to watch what you're saying, because there are people that haven't been abusive, they've not been rude, they've literally just been expressing their concerns about the game, and they're receiving emails saying this is your final warning, and then they've obviously, I'm going to say they retaliate, like they reply to the email with the final warning saying like, look, what's wrong with me expressing my concerns and stuff. They're not being rude in any way, shape or form, and then boom, they're hit with a permanent ban hammer. They can never use the forums again. And to me, that is just an absolute fucking joke. If you get into any form of business, you need to be able to take criticism and hate. It's everywhere. You can't please everyone with things you do. I don't think there's actually a single video on my channel that doesn't have dislikes. Like, there are people in this world that simply dislike videos because they don't have a dislike. Like, it's crazy sort of stuff that people do. But when you start your own business, any form of a business, you could be a plumber, an electrician, a window fitter, someone that deals with roofing, and you could work for an internet company, anywhere, you're going to have people that don't like what you do. And in terms of a game where you have a huge community, like the Division 2 has millions of players, you need to expect some people to just hate. Just for the sake of being different, people just hate. But it seems as though whenever something is posted that the developers don't like the sound of, or maybe it's Ubisoft, like the actual company that published the game, maybe it's those that don't like all the negativity or something, and people are just being banned left, right and centre. I've had several comments from my video yesterday that people saying they've been permanently banned, and I know some people are rude, they don't put it as constructive criticism, it comes as straight hate, and I'm a fucking professional at doing that, because there's no point being constructive like anymore with this game. There pretty much hasn't been from the start, but there is definitely no reason to be constructive with these developers anymore, because ever since Division 1 there's been big problems. People have been constructive and they've been shut down instantly, they've been ignored. We had all of the marketing sort of lies fed to us with we've learnt from our mistakes in Division 1, and they're the same if not worse than Division 1, and you try putting all these ideas across and they host things like they have an ETF where players get flown out to Sweden to go and work in the studio, and then all of the stuff they're talking about doesn't even get listened to, and it's just like, what's the fucking point? You might as well just be straight up and say the devs are doing a shit job. Because if they're not going to listen to constructive criticism, if they're not going to listen to hate, if they're not going to listen to positivity, then just be who you are. Just say things how you want to say them. Because there's a big, 99.5% chance that you're never going to be heard anyway, no matter who you are, unless you're literally right inside the developer's pockets. But yeah, just thought I'd do the little video to warn people, like, if you're on the forums, don't be positive for the sake of not being banned on them forums. Just be careful if you have any negative view, whether it's constructive or not, whether it's expressing concerns or just saying how you feel about the game. Just be careful, because they do not care. They will permanently ban you. It's like a kid having a temper tantrum. They will just ban you if they don't like what they're hearing. So I'm going to leave the video there. I want to know your opinions in the comments. Have you been banned from the forums? Have you not? Have you heard of players being banned? Let me know your views and stuff on the topic in the comments, but that's going to do it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.